Hey guys, welcome back folks. How are you guys doing today? Hello, Cassandra, Graham, Crwd1, So Whippy, AJ 555, Rigetti Computing, FD, Alexio Ramirez. Yeah, I should be already streaming, I think. Stella Hanado. Hello. Oh, we have a lot of people over here. Yeah, it's a full house. Eileen, Stacy K. What's up, folks? Yeah, there I am. Now I can see and hear myself. What's up, folks? Hello. How are you guys doing today? Good? Was it a good trading session for you? Shock Taylor. Daniel Smith, please drop a comment down below and let me know what stocks you want me to go over. You guys are seeing what is going on after hours. Impressive, right? Apple is up like, how much? This is a trade that I actually started recently with the members of my Patreon in English. Wow, it is up $9. Jesus Christ. Wow. And Google is up a lot as well, right? Let me see. Wow. This is impressive, guys. Can you guys think in terms of the market cap creation when a stock such as Apple and Google goes up in a matter of a few minutes, $10 or $9? This is impressive, guys. So Apple closed today's trading session at $229, and it is trading at $239 after hours. Jesus Christ. I started a position, by the way, with the members of my Patreon on Apple. 2 weeks ago, I think, I grabbed some shares at $233, and I'm in the green as of now. I might hold the position overnight. I could close here, but I might hold the position overnight. Okay, drop a comment down below. Tessie, ONDS, your thoughts on OMNDS. What is that, bro? Apld and Wulf. Nvidia, hello from Georgia. What's up, guys? Hello. From Charlotte, from the beautiful city of Charlotte, in the beautiful state of North Carolina. Yeah, where are you guys located at? Let me know. Sure. Yeah, so we were keeping an eye on Nvidia today at 170. It was a very important level for Nvidia. We'll go over Nvidia. Okay, no worries. Webull, ONDS, yeah. What is it? I don't know any stock with that ticker symbol, but I can go over it. It's okay. Hello from Houston. Jeffrey Green. There you go. It's a beautiful city as well. Houston, yeah. And a lot of you guys are in California, right? Ulta Beauty, Apld, and AMD. Perfect, no problem. Sure. So, first of all, let's make a summary of what happened today in the markets. Red day across the board. But we closed the trading session way off the lows. And by the way, in my Discord, we managed to catch the low of the day. I will show you guys that information. Hamilton, Ohio, BMNR, Tesla, Nvidia. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being there. It's great. Yeah, I love going live for you. So we had a red day across the board. Nothing crazy, guys, because we closed the trading session in the case of the SPY, recapturing the 20-day moving average, needless to say, after hours with Google and Apple going on a tear. But also because the dip was bought up in a very aggressive fashion earlier on today. So that's good. So we have levels of demand that as of now are acting as such. That's good news, taking into account that today was the first trading session of a month that is, from a seasonality standpoint, a negative month for the markets. So Russell 2000 down today 0.60%. The Nasdaq went down 0.82%. The S&P 500 down 0.69%. And the Dow Jones went down today 249 points. At some point today, the Dow was down something like 600 points. This goes to show that the markets rallied into the closing bell, despite the fact that we ended up having a red day across the board. So the Dow Jones went down 0.55%. Take a look at this, guys. these are the 11 sectors that trade inside the S&P 500. All of them, except for energy, actually closed in negative territory. It was a nasty day. It was a very negative day. And take a look at the breadth that we saw today in the markets. Take a look. The market movers. Look at this. Russell 2000, or the IWM, better known as the IWM. Today, inside the IWM, we had 1,400 stocks going down and 552 stocks going up. Nasty. Take a look at the S&P 500. What about 388 stocks going down and 115 stocks going up? It was an ugly day. And in the case of the Nasdaq 100, better known as the triple Qs, we had 81 stocks going down and only 20 stocks going up. A red day across the board. But take a look at what happened in the case of the SPY, guys. Let me pull up here a 4-hour chart and put this down on a sticky note, guys. And believe me, in the case of the SPY, I think that this is my specialty in the markets. And I have proof of it. Take a look. This is a 4-hour chart of the SPY, which went down today 0.74%, and it closed the trading session at $640. Take a look at this pink line. This is none other than the 20-day moving average. So what is this pink line showing us? The average price of the S&P 500 during the last 20 trading sessions. It is a fast moving average. So it is showing us momentum in minor time frames on the SPY. But take a look at what happened today, guys. So the 20-day moving average was broken to the downside, again in pink, and it was recaptured into the closing bell, which was a positive development. I could argue from a quote-unquote bearish standpoint that the SPY is still trading below the 5 DMA in white, this white line that I am pointing out with my mouse. This is the 5-day moving average. This is my favorite moving average when it comes to trading, or when it comes to taking short-term trades. Okay, so we can make a case here that the bulls still have some work to do in the case of the SPY. However, take a look at this. Again, let's focus on the pink line that I just pointed out. The 20-day moving average. Take a look at what has happened in the case of the 20 DMA since it was recaptured on April 23rd. Take a look at this, guys. Support, 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 broken to the downside, and immediately after that recaptured. So support, once again. Support, 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 broken today and recaptured once again. The 20-day moving average is signaling as of now $640.59. It is going to show a different price tomorrow, but in the ballpark of $640.60, 80 cents ish. This moving average is very important. If broken to the downside, and say that the bulls maybe are unable to close 1 or 2 trading sessions below the 20 DMA, this is bearish. And taking into account that September is just kicking off, this could be attracting sellers into the S&P 500 or into the SPY. So why do I say that? Take a look at the last occasion in which the 20-day moving average was broken to the downside and not recaptured in a matter of 2 or 3 trading sessions. What happened here, guys? I may ask. Look, broken to the downside on April 2nd, not recaptured on the next trading session, and it wasn't recaptured either on the next trading session. What happened here? The SPY collapsed. Look. 15%. It's important. The 20-day moving average is a big deal here, guys. So, in the case of the SPY, and you guys are always asking me about the SPY, keep an eye on this 20-day moving average. $640.50, $640.80 ish. Very important level. To the upside, if tomorrow we happen to see a turnaround Wednesday, I don't know. Keep an eye on the 5 DMA, $645.40 in white. Coinciding, or this moving average is coinciding with a previous level of resistance that acted as such on 3 occasions recently. So to the upside, 645.50, this could be a level at which the bulls could be failing at. And below the 20 DMA, be careful, because sellers could be stepping in further in the case of the SPY. So there goes your SPY analysis. Take a look at these guys. Interesting. Look. This is a 1-day, 1-minute chart of the SPY. Take a look at today's low. Can you guys see it here? Let me zoom in. What was today's low? $634.92. Take a look at the comment. And again, guys, you know that I started a Patreon in English not long ago, so I could be in touch with you guys throughout or during the trading sessions, because I am obviously active on Crwd's server, calling out levels of interest in individual stocks, but it is impossible for me to keep up with your direct messages. It's impossible. So I ended up starting and by the way, I ended up starting a server in English, because you guys know that I've been running my own Patreon in Spanish during more than 4 years. And you guys were signing up for my Patreon in Spanish. And since most of you guys don't speak Spanish, I ended up reimbursing you the money of the subscription. So I ended up starting a Patreon in English so I can be in touch with you during the trading sessions. And I am calling out levels of interest in the case of the SPY on this channel in my server, Live Alvaro. So take a look at this. And of course, I am streaming for the members of both servers as of now, Crwd's and mine as well. That's why I am pointing this out, okay? Look at this, guys. So earlier on today, and I will go over Nvidia, because I also call out some levels of interest in the case of Nvidia for the members of Crwd's server. So take a look at this, guys. So today, 6:21 a.m. Look, this was the time at which I posted my, at which I say that, you know, started to post some information in my Discord. So, but I said, guys, to the members of my Discord in English, take a look at this. Let me see if I can see. Okay. 8:29 a.m., guys. Take a look at the time. 8:29 a.m. Our pivot today comes in at $640.20. Very important number. So, where did I get this pivot from? You may ask. Hey, Alvaro, where did you get this pivot from? Why $640.20 was important today? Because this is a level that was coinciding with the 20-day moving average pre-market. Look. So the trading session closed with the 20-day moving average signaling $640.60. This is a fast moving average. So pre-market, that 20 DMA was signaling $640.20. Sometimes you guys ask me, and the members of my Patreon do that very often, like, hey, Alvaro, how do you get your pivot? Okay, there you guys have the pivot. $640.20 was a level that was coinciding with the 20-day moving average. But take a look at the time at which I posted this information, guys, 8:29 a.m. And I said, if things get ugly, $635.30 and $633.20 are potential levels of support. Both can bounce the tape. I am likely a SPY buyer at any of those levels if reached quickly. Again, $635.30 and $633.20, $635.30 and $633.20. Take a look at today's low, guys. $634.92. The level that I was waiting for was this one, $635.30. So this level, which I said pre-market that was very important, was actually broken to the downside, but ended up bouncing the tape. $635.30. Take a look at today's low, $634.92. So this was a what, 38 cents difference, and the SPY bounced back up, but So it not only bounced back up, guys, from that level that I pointed out pre-market, but take a look at the price at which the SPY closed today's trading session at. $640.27. I cannot be making this up. So our pivot ended up being a magnet, ended up acting like a magnet. It was broken to the downside pre-market, never recaptured during the trading session. We managed to catch today's low, do the penny, and take a look at the bounce that we saw off this level, 635.30, 634.90, up to our pivot, 640.27. Take a look at our pivot, guys. At the pivot that I pointed out pre-market, $640.20. I cannot be making this up. And again, take a look at the time, 8:29 a.m. The number was very important. And speaking of important levels, let's take a look at the information that I was posting on Crwd's server today about Nvidia, guys. Take a look. 9:23 a.m. And of course, I will be reviewing Nvidia from a technical standpoint. So I told you guys, take a look at the time. 9:23 a.m. Let me see. This was, here. Nvidia, it is 10:09 a.m. What is it? Okay, here it is. Look. Good morning, of course, always. Good morning. 8:17 a.m. Keep an eye on Nvidia at $170. This level is extremely important in the case of Nvidia, guys. I cannot emphasize this enough. It was today very important, and it will be very important tomorrow as well. It's a level that coincides with the 50-day moving average. Big level. If Nvidia closes candles below 170, it's good night, Irene. So bearish, of course, right? The door could open for 164.40, which is a potential level of support. On the flip side, above 170, buyers can step in and push price higher. What happened with Nvidia at the open, guys? And I know that two of you guys were able to take this trade at the open. Look, Nvidia opened the trading session below slightly below 170. Look here you guys can see it. So the red line is $170. Nvidia opens the trading session below 170. Buyers stepped in at 168.70, recaptured $170, and take a look at the push to the upside that we saw up to $172.40. Look, this was from 170. It was a 1.46% push to the upside in the case of Nvidia. This green line that I am pointing out here is the 50-day moving average, 50 DMA. It is showing us the average price of Nvidia during the last 50 trading sessions. So, if we pull up here a 4-hour chart, what could be potentially happening with Nvidia? Take a look at the green line again. It's a big deal. Look, $171. Let me zoom out here. Look. Take a look at what happened. Last time Nvidia recaptured that 150-day moving average. Here, guys, take a look. Nvidia hasn't traded below the 50 DMA since early May. Do you guys think that this level is important? $170, $171? It is clearly very important. Very important. So keep an eye on this level tomorrow. This is not a very fast moving average, so it is going to be signaling tomorrow at the open $170.50, $170.50, $171-ish. So if Nvidia consolidates above $170, we could see the bulls gathering momentum in order to, why not, guys, pull up and maybe make a test of the 5-day moving average at around $177. So above this 50-day moving average, buyers could be stepping in. And mind you, if Nvidia loses a support, $170, $171, so if this 50-day moving average is broken into the downside, and say that Nvidia closes, I don't know, maybe 2 trading sessions below this level, we could have like lower prices coming up for Nvidia. What about $160? This is a previous level of resistance. What about a test of the 100-day moving average at $150? These are potential scenarios, guys, to the downside. This technical short isn't looking good, and the 20-day moving average and the 5 DMA were already broken to the downside. So Nvidia, as of now, is guilty until proven innocent, and you guys have to be careful with this stock. And yeah, maybe there's a trade to the upside above $171, but careful, guys. Below 170, this could get ugly. Oh, and by the way, this is and of course this is a speculation from my end. Look at this. What is this? SMH. This is the Semiconductor ETF, right? So of course Nvidia is the most important holding inside this ETF, SMH. What do you guys visualize here on this 4-hour chart? What do you guys see here? And this is a speculation. And by the way, guys, I don't like trading based on technical patterns, because most technical patterns don't play out. The vast majority of them. What is this, guys? Look here. Left, center, right. It looks like a head and shoulders. Yes. A non-academic head and shoulders. Yeah, this is bearish, of course. And take a look at the level that SMH is trying to hold as support, guys. None other than the 50-day moving average. But mind you, the Semiconductor ETF already lost as support that 50-day moving average. Look, it is signaling $288. Not looking good, definitely, right? And again, I would advise you guys to don't trade based on technical patterns, because the vast majority of them don't play out. Needless to say, when you guys spot or visualize technical patterns in minor time frames. Yeah, sometimes you guys ask me, or it happens in my Discord. Hey, Alvaro, I am seeing here a head and shoulders on a 1-day, 1-minute chart. Absolutely non-important. Yeah. When we talk about technical patterns, you have to go. We have to be talking about minimum a 4-hour chart. If you visualize a head and shoulders, or maybe an inverse head and shoulders on a daily, on the weekly, that's more likely to play out. But most of these technical patterns don't play out. But this is just like curiosity. Let's just put it that way. We have a head and shoulders, potential head and shoulders, that is, on a 4-hour chart of the SMH, and SMH already lost as support the 50-day moving average. Okay, so again, guys, in the case of Nvidia, it's all about its 50-day moving average here. Look, $171, and mind you, look, we have the 20 DMA signaling $179 potential resistance, on the 5 DMA signaling $177 potential levels of resistance. And by the way, let me take a look at an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs in the case of Nvidia. Let's go see. Let me see. Look, $177. So what message is that anchor VWAP sending us, guys? The message is that the average market participant that started a position on Nvidia at all-time highs at $184, as of now has an average price of $177. So we know that at $177, we have market participants with losing positions on Nvidia. they are likely to close those positions breaking even. Should Nvidia go up to $177? Look. So the problem with Nvidia as of now, and this is also a problem that Palantir is dealing with, is that these stocks that were already had 2 or 3 weeks ago now have overhead supply. So they have buyers trapped above the current price. It's a problem. Not a big deal, but it's an issue. So take a look. That anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs is coinciding with this 5 DMA, this 5-day moving average. $177.50. So be careful here, guys. This could be a short if this 50 DMA is broken to the downside. Yeah, and cannot be recaptured. Oh, by the way, let me take a look at the market structure of Nvidia. What do we see here? Let's go see. The market structure is looking a bit constructive. This is a market structure short. So what you guys see on top is the demand or buyers, and at the bottom the supply or sellers. So the demand is starting to go up after having been going down for several trading sessions, and the supply is going down. So apparently, and despite the fact that this market structure short cannot be reconciled with the 4-hour short of Nvidia that I just showed you, it looks like buyers might be trying to step in on Nvidia in minor time frames. So taking a look at this market structure short of Nvidia, we can make a case that if this 50 DMA is defended by buyers, so if 171 is held as support, maybe we can see a push to the upside, and maybe the next potential gap that gets filled could be up to $177. There you go. I think we get in a healthy pullback. September and October will be buy the deep opportunity. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Never speak in absolute terms about this business, guys. Never. Never. It's a mistake. That is something that I was talking about with the members of my Discord yesterday. I did a live stream and we went over the seasonality. And I told them, don't assume that September will be a red month. If September is going to actually be a red month, the technical charts will show us what to do. But never assume anything in the markets. Never. Never. Always speak in terms of probabilities and not in terms of certainties. That's an advice. Sure. All right. Yeah, and maybe you need to get familiar with the trading language, trading terms. Sure. I guess that's what you're talking about, right? Of course. Okay, so what stocks? What other stocks should I review? Let's go over Nvts. This is another semiconductor related stock, right? Nvda Semiconductor. Look. Ugly, 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 guys. I can see some losses in semiconductor stocks around here, right? Yeah. So you must be a bit concerned about the potential head and shoulders that I just showed you guys in the case of the Semiconductor ETF. Guys, I mean, I rarely ever trade downtrends. Rarely ever. Sometimes I do if we get like unusual options alerts on a downtrend in stock. I might give it a shot. Take a look at this technical chart of Nvts. It's a clear downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, below the 50, the 20-day moving average, the 5 DMA. It's an ugly looking chart. So in my case, when it comes to a downtrend, guys, and again, if I make an exception to the rule and I actually start a trade on a downtrend in stock, I need to see buyers starting to show strength in minor time frames. By doing what? By recapturing the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average. So I would need to see Nvts if I were interested in taking a trade in starting a trade with this stock. I would need to see Nvts, Nvda Semiconductor, recapturing the 5 DMA, $5.98. That could be showing me that buyers have potentially started to step in minor time frames. Can Nvts keep going down? Of course. So if that were the case, if this stock keeps going down, keep an eye on this rising 100-day moving average. 100 DMA. Remember, the slope of a moving average is very important. Very, but very important. Super important. Why is it? Because if you see a moving average rising and the price of that stock above a rising moving average, that implies that that moving average is potentially pushing price up. Potentially pushing price up. Okay? So yeah, if I had a position on Nvda Semiconductor, or if I were interested in buying this dip, maybe I would be curious about Nvts bouncing off $5.30, which is a level that is coinciding with a rising 100-day moving average. Ideally, you guys want to see, again, as I just said, buyers stepping in minor time frames before starting a position on a clearly downtrending stock such as Nvda Semiconductor. So remember, don't buy the dip. Buy, you guys can buy the dip, of course, but buy strength after the dip. So yeah, wait until the 5 DMA is recaptured, maybe $5.96. And yes, this stock could be potentially bouncing off this rising 100 DMA at $5.27. Other than that, it's a very ugly looking chart. Yeah, this stock went down to the 1.71%, and it closed the trading session at $5.76. I am curious about an anchor VWAP from this date, May 21st. Something happened here. Take a look at this push to the upside, guys. Something happened here. Something important happened on that day. So let me take a look at an anchor VWAP from that date to see if maybe we have some potential level of demand in the case of Nvts below the current price. Let's go see. Oh yeah, here it is. Look, someone already asked me about this stock. Take a look at this anchor VWAP. So this is an anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from that day that I just told you guys about, May 21st. Something important happened here, guys, obviously, because this stock went on a tear since that day. So the average market participant that started a position on Nvts on that day, May 21st, has an average price as of now of 654 cents. So they are a potential level of overhead supply. They are a potential level of resistance above the current price of Nvts. $6.54 coincides with what? Let me see. Let's go see. It is pretty much, that level is pretty much coinciding with this 20-day moving average, $6.50. So again, and this is the same situation that I just told you guys about in the case of Nvidia and Palantir as well. We have overhead supply. We have buyers trapped above the current price of these stocks. It's a problem. It's a technical issue that these stocks will have to figure out. Yeah, not a good looking chart. And do I have the market structure of Nvts available? Let's go see. Nvts. No, I don't have it. I always like to take a look at the market structure of any stock, but I don't have this one. I don't have this one available. Don't buy at the dip. Buy at strength after the dip. That is correct. Yeah, don't buy the dip. Buy strength after the dip. Yeah. So, in other words, cool guy, what that means? What does that mean, guys? If I tell you don't buy the dip, buy the dip buy strength after the dip. So, what is the significance of that comment? That you let other market participants to do the heavy lifting, to find out where the bottom is at. Let others do that job. And you buy strength after the dip. What does that mean? That's what it means. Let other market participants try to find out where is the bottom of any given stock. In the case of Nvts, what is the bottom here, guys? Who knows? It's a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. So this technical chart is attracting what? It is attracting sellers. So why would you get involved in a technical chart, or what would you be getting involved in a stock that is attracting sellers? It doesn't make any sense. Let others do the hard job of finding out where the bottom is at. And once the technical chart shows a bit of a strength at least, and in my case, I use the 5-day moving average as the gauge in order to determine if buyers are starting to step in minor time frames. So wait until at least this stock recaptures the 5 DMA, $5.97. There you go. Apld. Let's go see Apld. Applied Digital. You guys love this stock, right? Yeah. Chris was pumping this stock a few weeks ago, right? He was, right? Am I right? Yeah, he was pumping this stock. It was a good call out, by the way. I got to give him a call. Hey, Chris. Thanks for pumping Apld. Yeah. He got this one right. Yeah. Okay, so Apld, yeah, he was pumping this stock. I saw a video. I'm going to give him a call. Okay, to say thanks. Okay, so Apld went down 4.51% and it closed the trading session at $15.26. So, look, the 5 DMA was broken to the downside. Take a look at the slope, what we just talked about, guys, the slope of a moving average. The 20 DMA is upward sloping. It is supposed, or it could be potentially providing support. It is upward sloping, look. So say that Apld tomorrow recaptures $15.40. This could be a buy the dip opportunity, guys. Yeah. Because again, the slope of the moving average is or should be attracting buyers into this technical chart. So say that Apld consolidates above $15.40, which by the way coincides with previous levels of resistance. Take a look. Back from early June and also back from mid-August. So this could be a potential bullish scenario for Apld, guys. Consolidation above $15.40, previous level of resistance, coinciding with a rising 20-day moving average. If that were the case, maybe the bulls could be gathering momentum in order to make a push higher, to potentially being able to fill this next potential gap up, because I always speak in terms of probabilities and not certainties, up to this 5 DMA, $16.21. Yeah. But on the flip side, say that, I don't know, maybe tomorrow the market's open in the red as a whole and stuff like that. If Apld loses as support this rising 20 DMA that is coinciding with two previous levels of resistance, this could be attracting sellers rather into this technical chart. So above $15.40, I would be constructive. On Apld, below $15.40, be careful, because there could be more room to the downside here. And by the way, guys, this is a very interesting stock. Let me show you this. Look. Apld, look. Because if we take a look at a 4-hour chart of Apld, it looks like, yeah, the chart looks good. The stock is trading probably at an all-time highs. But take a look at these, guys. All-time highs for Apld, for Applied Digital, was made in October of 2021 at $34. And take a look at the way that an AVWAP that comes from that day, from October 26th of 2021. So that anchor VWAP is signaling as of now $7.78. So when you guys see an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs, an anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from all-time highs, and if that anchor VWAP is below the current price of that stock, that implies, for the most part, that every single market participant that ever started a position on that stock is making money. That implies that above the current price of that stock, we don't have many important levels of overhead supply that could be acting as resistance. This is very bullish for Applied Digital. And if we take a look at an anchor VWAP from the most recent all-time highs. Let me see what price did we get. Sorry, from the most recent 52-week high rather, right? Because all-time highs was made in 2021. And we get an average price of how much? $16. So $16 is a level that is pretty much coinciding with the 5-day moving average, with the 5 DMA. So this thing, guys, recaptures $16.20 after having held as support the 20-day moving average, as I just suggested that it could happen. This stock could be off to the races. So very constructive above $15.50. I wouldn't be constructive at all below $15.40, and above $16.20. Be careful, because this stock could be about to make a major breakout to the upside, guys. Take a look. Look. This stock consolidates above 16 bucks-ish for 1 or 2 weeks, guys, and be careful. Yeah, watch out. There could be a lot of room to the upside here. Yeah, a lot. Sure. Alibaba, let's go see Baba. Yeah. So Chinese stocks have been going on a tear. Wow, take a look at Baba, huh? This is a very good looking chart, huh? Yeah. Yeah, and they announced last week that they are going to be competing with Nvidia or something like that, which is probably bullshit. Yeah, no one can compete with Nvidia, guys. It's bullshit. Nvidia will have competitors, but as of now, as of today, September 2nd of 2025, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah, competitors will come over, but not yet. So, Baba went up today 2.63%, closed the trading session at $138.55. And take a look at these, guys. And this is an information that we posted on my Discord last week. We got an unusual call option alert on Baba that ended up playing out to the penny, because in my Discord, we are posting unusual options alerts on a daily basis. Let me see if I can show you guys the alert of Baba. Look at this. Posted on August 29th. Look at the date. And this goes for the members of my Patreon, especially. So the day before, so on August 28th, someone invested $1.5 million on call options of Baba, expiring, take a look at this date, guys. January 15th of 2027. They bucked lips. This is a very bullish bet on Baba, with a strike price of $125. So why would anyone, and in this case an institution, buy Baba calls expiring on January 15th of 2027 in the money? Why would that happen, guys? If you want to think like if you were an institution of Wall Street, why would anyone do this? Buy lips expiring in a year and a half out, and in the money, $125. And take a look at what happened, guys, with this alert that, again, was posted in Discord on August 29th. Let's go see. We pull up here a 5-day, 5-minute chart of Baba. Take a look here. So the members of my Discord were alerted about this unusual call option alert of Baba over here, guys, pre-market. And take a look at the performance of Baba since they were notified about that alert. Baba has gone up in 2 trading sessions, 8.6%. Wow. I didn't follow this alert, by the way. Yeah, I've been very busy, so I didn't follow this alert. But I mean, good job for the ones that did it, right? It's crazy. And remember, guys, if any of you wants to join my Discord and my Patreon, in the description box of this video or live stream, you guys have the link in case that you want to join us over there, right? And if you want to be in touch with me during the trading sessions. Circling back to the technical chart of Baba. It went up today 2.63%, and it closed the trading session at $138.55. What a good looking chart, guys. Wow. We can make a case that the most recent push to the upside is a bit extended. Why do I say that? Well, because Baba is trading 13% above its 20-day moving average. In my case, guys, in order to determine a move to either the upside or the downside that we can make a case that is a bit extended, I use the 20-day moving average as reference. If a stock is trading either above or below its 20-day moving average by 20% or more, I consider that movement to be a bit extended. I don't use the RSI as you guys do. Because some people use the RSI and they say, no, this stock is overbought and this stock is oversold. I don't like those concepts. And I'm still waiting for someone to explain to me when a stock is oversold or overbought. No one has done it. I'm still waiting. If you know someone that knows how to explain what is oversold and overbought, please tell that person to reach out to me. Or let me know who is it. Because those concepts are bullshit. There's no overbought and oversold whatever that is. It's bullshit. I've seen 1 million stocks being overbought, keep going higher. And I've seen 1 million stocks being very oversold, keep going down. Be careful with that, guys. There's some food for thought there. Okay, so take a look at this level in the case of BABA, $135, previous level of resistance. From when? From mid-April. Sorry, from mid-May. BABA consolidates above $135, guys. So if this previous level of resistance acts now as a new level of support, we're looking at $148. Previous level of resistance back from early March and mid-March. This could be the next potential gap to the upside in the case of BABA. By the way, if you guys are trading Chinese stocks, keep an eye on the US dollar, the Dixie. These stocks benefit from a weak dollar. And oh boy, has the US dollar been weak recently. It's getting annihilated, guys. I don't know if you guys saw what gold did today. Impressive. New all-time highs. Yeah. Sometimes it makes me laugh, guys. So the S&P 500 is up year to date. And put this down on a sticky note. So you can sound smart when you're talking with someone, right? That is actively trading the markets. So the S&P is up year to date, like 9%. What about the dollar? The US dollar is down 11% year to date. And the SPY is an ETF that is being traded in dollars, in US dollars. So if you see someone saying, oh, I'm killing it with the SPY because the SPY is up 12% year to date. Yeah, what about the value that your dollars have lost since early January? It is pretty much erasing the gains of the S&P 500 or the SPY year to date. Don't you think so? It's common sense, guys. Yeah. It makes me laugh when some people say, yeah, because the SPY is up 12% year to date. Yeah, what about the US dollar, bruh? Those shares that you have on the SPY are denominated in dollars. And those shares are down 12% or 11% year to date. Just some food for thought over there, guys. So very good looking short in the case of BABA, guys. What about a retest of this previous level of resistance? $135. If it acts as support again, BABA could be bouncing off $135 and keep going up. Can BABA keep going up right away, straight up, and fill this gap up to $149? Yes, it can. Yeah, it can happen. It is a very good looking short above all the moving averages. A brand new higher high here. So no reason to be bearish on BABA as of now. Let me take a look at the market structure of BABA. What do we see here? Let's go see. Alibaba Group. Yeah, take a look at the market structure. Again, on top of this chart, you guys can see the demand or buyers. And at the bottom, supply or sellers. Demand up, supply down. More buyers than sellers in minor time frames. We can easily reconcile this market structure chart with this 4-hour chart of BABA, in which we can see this stock trading above all the moving averages. And over here, we can also see a rising 5-DMA in white, signaling $128. This is a very good looking chart. Yeah. So 135 potential support. 148 could be the next potential gap to the upside. Yeah, it's possible. Sure. We don't need to take a look at any anchor VWAPs here, guys, because let me just, out of curiosity, let me take a look at an anchor VWAP that comes from the double top that we recently saw in Baba. And mind you, guys, whenever Baba goes up, everyone is going to be calling out a triple top here at $148. Top, top, top. And again, be careful with technical patterns. Most of them don't play out. Be careful. Just saying, out of my experience. Okay, an anchor VWAP that comes from this most recent 52-week high at around $148 is signaling $120. Baba could be off to the races here, guys. Yeah, this is a very good looking chart. Sure. Wulf. What is that? WULF. What is that? Let me see. WUF. TeraWulf. What is this? TeraWulf. I mean, first time that this is the first time that I that I see this stock. Not gonna lie. Up to day 1.90%, which is good. In a day of general weakness for the markets, and closed the trading session at $9.63. It is a very good looking chart above all the moving averages. Rising 20 DMA, above the 5 DMA. Very good looking chart. Consolidation, clear consolidation above $8.83. This thing consolidates above the 5 DMA, $9.50. And we could see buyers being attracted into this technical chart. The next potential gap to the upside could be $10.67. This is a very good looking chart. Yeah. Oh yeah. Very good looking chart. As long as this stock remains above $9.40. I mean, we can make a case that this stock has gone up a lot since its most recent earnings report. That's what allowed the stock to go higher in a very aggressive fashion. So this stock has gone up 76% since its most recent earnings report. So say that this 5 DMA is broken to the downside. I mean, I would expect buyers to defend price at that rising 20-day moving average, which as of now is signaling pretty much $8. So Wulf could be bouncing off that level as well. In case of profit taking and stuff, this is a very good looking chart. Let me see. Do I have the market structure of this thing available? Let me see. Wulf. TeraWulf. Is this a real company? Like they do something special? This is, I don't know, an AI related company or something like that. Wulf. So the demand is going down along with the supply. This is not a good looking chart. This is not a good looking market structure chart, which could be signaling potentially that profit taking could be happening anytime soon. Yeah. You never want to see the demand of any stock going down, right? So yeah, keep an eye on the 5 DMA. If broken to the downside, yeah, maybe, why not? A test of $7.80. Let me take a look at an anchor VWAP from this high, just to, I don't know, see if we can spot any potential level of support to the downside. If we happen to see profit taking as the market structure is kind of suggesting. So TeraWulf, let's go see here. So from this high, an anchor VWAP. Sorry. Yeah, look, $9.32. So it is important for the bulls to hold that support, that convergence of the 5 DMA and that anchor VWAP that comes from this, I don't know, most recent 52-week high. And if we display an anchor VWAP from the last earnings report, after which this stock shot up higher, we get an average price of $8.67, which could also be a potential level of support. $8.60. Slightly above this rising 20 DMA. There's support down there between $8 and $7.80. Potential support, that is. It is an AI stock. Okay, Okay, now I've never heard of it before, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Sure. CrowdStrike, CRWD. Let's go see CrowdStrike. And how long? Let me see, guys. We are 55 minutes in. Yeah, you guys know that when I go live for you on Tuesdays, that implies that I've been already streaming for something like 8 hours in a row, because I live stream exclusively for the members of my Patreon in Spanish from 9:20 a.m. until 4 p.m. At the same time, I am guiding the members of my Patreon in English in the Discord in English. And once I am done doing all of that, then I go live for you guys on Tuesday. So when I go live for you guys, I am really, 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 running the extra mile, running on fumes. So yeah, if you notice any mistakes here and there, I do apologize for that. But yeah, I have to really make an effort in order to go live for you on Tuesdays. But I like it. I love going live for you in English. Yeah. Oh, of course. No, not a problem. I love doing this. But sometimes I am a human being, right? So sometimes I am like more tired than other days. Today it was a bit intense, especially before noon. Yeah, so I'm a bit tired. It's okay. Okay, so bear with me over there. CrowdStrike. Let's go see CrowdStrike. Down today 2.41%, and it closed the trading session at $413.50. CrowdStrike is hanging on by a thread here, guys. Take a look at this red line here, the one that I am pointing out with my mouse. This is the 200-day moving average. This is a big deal, guys. One of the most important moving averages out there. Vastly used by institutions. CrowdStrike breaks this 200-day moving average, this 200 DMA to the downside, and I would be expecting this stock to at least pay a visit down to this low that was made after hours last week once the most recent earnings report of CrowdStrike came out. $387. Say that CrowdStrike can hold as support this rising 200 DMA. Take a look at the slope. It is clearly rising, guys. It could provide support here for CrowdStrike. It's possible. Okay. And again, in regular market conditions, guys, when I do any technical analysis, I am not taking into account, any event that could, scare away the market. I am not taking into account a macro data report that came out way worse than expected and the world is going to end, and you get the drill, right? So, if nothing, the sky is falling related happens, then you can trust in my technical analysis. So, the 200 DMA, it could be acting as support. This is a stock that I was actually keeping an eye on today. The 200 DMA is signaling 100, sorry. I wish. The rising 200 DMA is signaling $408. If held as support, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if buyers can gather momentum in order to make a push higher to potentially being able to fill this next potential gap up to the 5 DMA at $423 and the 20 DMA at $426. The proximity of these two moving averages between 426 and 424 could create a potential resistance zone. So this is not a good looking chart. Below the 50, the 100 DMA, below the 20 and the 5 DMA. I could make a case here that the most recent earnings report that came out last week was a good one because this company actually up-guided on the report. The valuation is very expensive. This is a very expensive stock. So I think this dip gets bought up, in my opinion. Yeah. So above $409. So say that tomorrow the SPY opens above the 20 DMA, which is a very important level, guys. And keep in mind that this is something that the members of my Patreon know to the penny. When we have a situation, guys, in which the VIX, the volatility index, is rising, and the SPY is dropping, 98% of stocks out there simply track the SPY or the S&P 500. Keep that in mind, right? So, and again, CrowdStrike, CRWD opens tomorrow's trading session above 409, and the SPY is above the 20 DMA, and the VIX isn't going on a tear as it did today before noon. I might be a buyer of CrowdStrike above that 200 DMA, $409. Below this $409 level, maybe 387. Would I be a buyer at 387? I don't know, maybe. So it's not a good looking chart, guys. Be careful. So, yeah. Let me take a look at the market structure of CrowdStrike, PLTR, sorry. CRWD, CrowdStrike. Let's go see. And yeah, the demand is flat, which is good. And the supply is going down. So the fact that the supply is going down and the demand is flat, again, guys, demand buyers, supply sellers, this could imply that maybe this sell-off is a bit overdone. This could be signaling some sort of sellers exhaustion, maybe. So, yeah. Please, CrowdStrike, hold 409 and support, and I am a buyer, probably. More likely than not. Yeah. And take a look. Speaking of overhead supply above the current price, take a look. CRWD. Let me take a look at some anchor VWAPs. Look. Take a look at this AVWAP. Take a look at how interesting this is, guys. So if we take a look at an anchor VWAP at an anchor volume weighted average price line of CrowdStrike, that comes from the April low. So this stock went down to $300 back in early April. We get an average price of $436. What does this imply? That the average market participant that started a position on CrowdStrike back in early April has an average price of $438. They are losing money. They have losing positions. Where did CrowdStrike fail at last week once the initial dip from the most recent earnings report got bought up? Take a look. This stock failed right at this anchor VWAP. So what message is this anchor VWAP sending us? Well, that these market participants simply locked in the profit or closed their positions breaking even as soon as CrowdStrike went up to $439. This is a downtrend, and there is not really much conviction about CrowdStrike. So in case that 200 DMA actually holds as support $409 and the stock goes up, and if you happen to have a winning position, hopefully over there, you should be looking in the profit before $438, because we know that we have buyers trapped at $438, and the stock could be pulling back from that level once again. 438 potential resistance, 409 potential support, 389, 390 also potential support. We'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. And we are, let me see, an hour and 3 minutes in. Yeah, we've gone over a lot of stocks. Let's wrap it up with Palantir, bro. Let's go over Palantir, the Messi of artificial intelligence, which went up today 0.24%, and it closed the trading session at $157. If we take a look at a 1 day, 1 minute chart of Palantir, what do you notice, guys? This is interesting, by the way. Very interesting. Look. What is this? So, what do you guys notice about Palantir that makes it different relative to the rest of the markets today? What do you see here? In the case of Palantir, bro! The Messi of artificial intelligence. Messi got pissed on Sunday, guys. Yeah, Inter Miami lost in Seattle. And they got in a fight with the players of the other team. It was a disaster. Yeah. He got pissed. Consolidation. James. Nope. Palantir today, in the midst of a sizable pullback, I would say, before noon, showed strength. Buying pressure, that is correct. This stands out, guys. Clearly. In a day of a lot of market weakness, or in a day, on a day, sorry, in which we saw a lot of market weakness, this stock went on a tear. And take a look at how the gains that were made before noon were held. This is very positive, guys. And by the way, what moving average we were talking about in the case of Nvidia, guys? Do you happen to remember that I told you, keep an eye on this moving average, keep an eye on this moving average. This is important. Wow, this sinusitis is killing me, guys. I suffer from sinusitis. It's killing me today. I don't know why. I guess that's because fall is upon us, I guess. Yeah. I can barely breathe today. So, what moving average? Again, I was talking about in the case of Nvidia. If you tuned in the live stream, no. There was another one that I told you this moving average is critical. In green, the 50-day moving average. Below the 50 DMA, correct. No. The 50, super important. Take a look at how that very same moving average acted as support for Palantir today on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions. Rue the F penny. $156. And what is this moving average in white? That is signaling $158. This is the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average. Resistance, 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 resistance. Palantir, guys, tomorrow takes out $158 and consolidates above that level. And I think we're going higher. But mind you, in the case of Palantir, and I already said this, I guess that I must be sounding like a broken record. In the case of Palantir, we have overhead supply. And a lot. Take a look at the 20-day moving average. It is signaling $169. Look at this anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs for Palantir. Look, PLTR. Look at this. $161. So Palantir is starting to show strength, but buyers need to push through and recapture the 5 DMA, which they didn't do it, which they didn't do it today, and recapture this anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So the average market participant that started the position in Palantir at $188 in early August have an average price as of now of $161. The average market participant has an average price of $181. So take a look at how, guys, these market participants have been selling the rip on Palantir over and over and over and over and over again. Do you guys think that this level is important? $162. Look. Yes. Resistance, 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 resistance. So say that Palantir consolidates above the 5 DMA, $158. We need to see a bit more from the buyers. A bit more. Give me a bit more. So consolidation above 158, consolidation and a potential recapture of that anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So say that Palantir consolidates above $161 and the door could potentially open for a test of $169, which is the 20-day moving average, which is a level that coincides with the 20-day moving average. Take a look at the importance, guys, of the 5 DMA. Look, in white, again. Take a look at how good my moving averages work. Resistance, 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 resistance. Taken out, but not held as support. Look, It was taken out after hours and lost that support. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Why is the 5 DMA so important, guys? Because it shows the conviction or the lack of conviction of the market's participants that have started positions on a stock more recently. It is important. When you guys see a stock trading above the 5 DMA, that implies that the market participants, or I can say that implies that the average market participant that started positions on that stock during the last 5 trading sessions has a high conviction about the fact that that stock could be going up in the short term. Resistance, 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 resistance. Nothing else to say here, guys. So Palantir consolidates above 158. And if this anchor VWAP is recaptured, $161, and maybe the door opens for a test of the 20 DMA. It is really eye-catching, guys. Here. It is really eye-catching, the technical strength that Palantir showed today. Yeah, it is eye-catching, for sure. Say that the markets fall off a cliff tomorrow or during this week. I'm still keeping an eye on this low from last week, 145, coinciding with a previous level of resistance that acted as such on multiple occasions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times before. And take a look at how 145 is very close relative to this rising 100 DMA, $137. Yeah. So yeah, those are the levels that I'm keeping an eye on. The case of the messy of artificial intelligence. Let me take a look at the market structure. Do we have something positive here on Palantir? Let's go see. Palantir, bro! The market structure doesn't look good at all, guys. Wow, take a look at the demand. The demand collapsed. And the supply is rising. So this market structure makes me believe that maybe the bulls of Palantir will have a hard time at recapturing the 5 DMA 158 and recapturing the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So be careful here. Palantir is about to enter into a potential tough spot here between 158 and 161. Above 161, maybe the door opens for the 20 DMA. Yeah. And do you guys believe that Palantir is the future, bruh? Raise your hand if you believe that Palantir is the future, bruh. Who is long Palantir here? Expecting $350, $300. Who cares about the multiples? You don't understand Palantir, Alvaro. It's all about the future, bruh. It's easy, bruh. There you go, Nana. Who else? It's a very special stock. I gotta give you guys that. Yeah. I cannot wrap my head around Palantir quite yet. I should have done it at $60, I guess. Never did it. Never understood the stock, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So Wilson also believes that Palantir is the future, bruh. It's easy, bruh. Okay. I'm tired, guys. I gotta go. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you guys on Discord, on both servers, Christian's and mine as well. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens overnight. Well, Apple is still going on a tear. It's crazy. Yeah. Thank you, guys. An hour and 14 minutes. Wow. I'm way past an hour. Yeah. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye, guys. Take care. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.